Hey guys, and welcome back to another video with your two favorite book nerds, Amy
and Kelly.
And today we are going to be talking about the books that we read in August.
We're going to be talking about the books that Amy read in August.
You read some books in August too, Kelly.
Not that much.
I just finally bested her.
She did. She did.
I didn't think this day would ever come.
Wiped me out. It's because she made me read crappy books and it just put me to slump.
That was the secret.
That's all you have to do.
Just pick crappy books. Who's starting this time?
I don't know. Do you want me to go since I really don't have?
Yeah, you can go first. Kick it off, Kelly. How many books did you read in August?
Don't have. So I read 4 books in August, and really it's more like 3.5 because I finished a book that I started in July. And I was really almost done with it. It was a T. Kingfisher book. So, yeah, we all know those aren't very long to begin with. So I did finish that one. So that made my 4. So they were, I don't have physical copies of any of them. So it was A House with Good Bones by T. Kingfisher, The Maidens by Alex Michaelis. Oh yeah, she's got him. Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. And, oh, I do have one. Our book club book. Oh, sorry, Dragon. It was our book club book. In My Dreams, I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead. That was my number 4 book. So, I read a total of 13, well, basically 1,400 pages. And that was an average of 350. So.
Yeah. And you have ratings for all of your books?
I do. They kind of wish I didn't, but I do. So I had 1 4-star. I had 1 3-star, 1 2-star, and 1 1-star. Which gave me an average of 2.5 stars for the month.
Nice.
Yeah, it was great.
I read 6 books in August, which I didn't think I'd ever say. I also read The Maidens and Ninth House, because they were book videos, or books for videos. Anyway, I read Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston.
No, McQuiston is what I would say.
Yep, that one, which is now an Amazon Prime movie, so you can go watch that if you want. I read The Woods Are Always Watching by Stephanie Perkins, Horror Store by Grady Hendrix, and finally Happy Place by Emily Henry. I, out of all those 6 books, had a total of 2,093 pages for an average of 349, and my ratings were, I had 1 5-star, had 1 4-star,
Ooh.
2 3-stars, 1 2-star, and 1 1-star for an average of 3 stars. So, not terrible, pretty mad.
Not terrible.
Yeah, I was surprised to have a 5-star.
But you had a 5-star.
I know, I never have 5 stars.
I know.
So, and I guarantee you that it's a controversial opinion. Because from the reviews I read, there's no one else who really thinks it's 5-star worthy.
Oh, well,
But that's
all right.
okay.
That's
You know?
okay.
It's fine. You cannot sway me. I loved it.
There you go.
Genres?
So, genres.
Genres.
I had... Wow, they were all in the horror thriller genre.
All in my genre.
And
Look at you
2.5
go.
stars.
Well, didn't think about that.
They were, because the T. Kingfisher book was a horror story. So
And I'm guessing that was your 1 4-star.
it was my 4-star.
Mm-hmm.
So that one was what I would say is horror. Yeah, the others, they were supposed to be thrillers, but I didn't think they were, so I'd call them more like murder mysteries or mysteries more than anything, really, because I didn't think they were thrillers, and definitely not horror, so probably more like mysteries.
Yeah.
But within that same horror, thriller, mystery genre. All of them, every single one. T. Kingfisher would be the only author I've read from before, and probably the only one I'm gonna read again. I might maybe check out Leigh Bardugo's like Shadow and Bone, because I did enjoy the Netflix series, so I might read that one, but it's YA, and I'm not huge on that, so I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. All right. That's
But
fair.
definitely T. Fisher, as everybody always knows.
Yeah, it's an auto buy for Kelly.
Definitely.
And so for my genres, I had 2 romance, 2 thrillers, 1 horror, and 1 dark fantasy. I'm calling Ninth House a dark fantasy.
Dark fantasy.
Yeah.
Meh.
I don't think it had that. I don't think it was a thriller. I didn't know what to call it, so I just was like, Google says dark fantasy, I'll go with it.
Yeah.
I had 2 authors that I hadn't read from before, and that was Casey McQuiston and Leigh Bardugo, and then all the rest I have read from before. And 2 of them that I've read from before, I didn't like their books previously, so I don't know why I read from them again. And 2 of them, I did enjoy them, so I don't know. I'll continue reading with Emily Henry and Grady Hendrix for sure. And that's it. Well, I might read Leigh Bardugo's Shadow and Bone as well. But otherwise, I'm good. I'm good. Oh, didn't do longest and shortest books.
Oh, longest and shortest. Well, the shortest would have been T. Kingfisher's, because it was like 256 pages. And the longest was Ninth House at 461 for me.
Nice. Well, for me, my longest book was also Ninth House. But just barely. Red, White, and Royal Blue was inching close to that longest spot as well. And then my shortest book was The Woods Are Always Watching by Stephanie Perkins. Well, now we can start talking about the books now that we got the stats all out of the way. No spoilers.
No spoilers
So,
in this one. If you want spoilers, though,
yeah, you can go check out our live.
Our last week's book club discussion, I'm not going to talk about that one. In My Dreams I Hold a Knife. That is a spoilery video, so if you want spoilers, you can go watch that. This was my 3-star. I did enjoy it. Of the quote thrillers that we read, this was the best of the bunch.
Yeah.
So that was my 3 stars. I'm also don't need to talk about The Maidens and Ninth House. That video is not spoilers. So, is that 2 weeks ago, I think? I think so. It is a reading vlog, though, so if you like to watch people, read and give you reactions along the way, there's that one. I apologize if you watch that for any sarcasm that I may have heavily put into my...
Yeah, because it's no secret, if you watch that video, Kelly did not like either of the books.
I didn't.
No.
So anyway, you can go watch those videos. I don't need to talk about those. So that leaves me with one, and that is my latest T. Kingfisher, which is A House with Good Bones. It is about, and I'm sorry, I don't have a physical copy, and I started it in July and finished it in like the first days of August. So I'm sorry, I cannot remember their names. I can't remember the character names. Let me just Google that real quick. Okay, so Sam which is really interesting. And I don't remember. It says it in the book, but again, it's been so long. But she's an archaeologist that specializes in bugs. So she's an entomologist, archaeologist. And there's an actual name for it, which is in the book. Anyway, she's supposed to be on a dig, and the dig gets postponed or put on hold because they found remains at the dig site, and so it gets put on hold. So because of that, Sam goes back to her childhood home to stay with her mother for an extended visit. When Sam was growing up, I'm trying to remember, I think her dad abandoned them. And so because of that, or did her dad die? I don't know. Her dad was not in the picture. I don't remember exactly why. But because of that, Sam and her mom ended up moving in with, and her brother too, moved in with her mother's mother, her grandmother, into her home, which was very strange. Her grandmother was one of those very old-fashioned, very strict, but yet she was spooky. And awesome. So there was lots of weird stuff that kind of went on in their childhood. So anyway, Sam they end up, as soon as her mom kind of gets them back on their feet again, they move out, and everybody's really happy to move out of that house. So anyway, after her grandmother dies, Sam's mother inherits the house and moves in and updates the house, does lots of things. And so Sam's really looking forward to being able to spend this time with her mom. But she notices things are weird right off the bat. Like, one of the very first things is that there's a vulture that perches on their mailbox and watches the house. And then she gets in and she notices that her mom, who had previously painted the house all different colors, you know, very colorful rooms, has repainted everything white. So it's all bland and normal, nice and normal. And that there's a really strange picture, kind of old photograph hanging above the mantle that Sam's not sure why her mother hung that back up. It had hung there when her grandmother lived there. So Sam's noticing all of these weird things going on, and she's worrying that maybe her mom is experiencing maybe some dementia or some other kind of neurological problems. And so she starts kind of quizzing the neighbors, and there's a handyman that comes over and does some work, and so there's a couple of funny parts where Sam's trying to dig into things and ends up blaming the gardener for things, and it's kind of funny. It's always the gardener. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of the start, and it goes off the rails from there. So I don't know how much, I don't have the book, so I can't read the description and find out what would be a spoiler to say or not. So I'm just going to stop there. I'm going to say it's spooky. I'm going to say it gets a little strange. It gets really strange at the end. And it's got all the vibes to it. Got all the vibes. She's got, you know, again, the gardener that comes over. He's got the creepy neighbor that spies on everybody and I was always threatening to call the cops. And you got the neighbor down the road that is a witch, and that Sam's grandma hated, but her mom is friends with this lady, and keeps a pet vulture, and so vultures are figured pretty heavily through this. But the reason that it got 4 stars for me instead of 5 is that the first half, and this is a really short book, but the first half of the book drug. And I think there was a little too much bug information. Like, I don't know if T. Kingfisher really likes bugs, or if she's an entomologist. I didn't look that up. Or if she just really wanted to show off how much research she did. But there's way too much bug information, and it just kind of drug along there for a while. It took a really long time for Sam to finally start getting into things.
So you could say that really bugged you.
Yes, and at the end, it really creeped me out. Creepy crawled me out. So yeah, it did bug me. Yes, it did. So that made it, I mean, it wasn't hard to read by any means, but it just wasn't as well paced as some of the others were. But the story itself was pretty good, and the really horror elements, especially towards the end, were really good. So that's why I ended up giving it 4 stars.
Nice.
Didn't quite make my 5, but that's okay. I still enjoyed it very much. So. And that's it for me.
That's so weird. Well, I'll jump into mine. I'm gonna keep all of mine pretty brief because I have 6 and I don't want this to be an hour-long video, so I'm not gonna ramble.
Is that a dig at me?
No, I would never.
I talk, people. Everybody knows it.
And I love it, Kelly. I do.
Uh-huh.
I don't love editing it, but I do.
Don't blame you. If you heard some of my rambles, I don't blame you at all.
We're gonna kick it off with the first book I read in August, which was Happy Place by Emily Henry. Emily Henry is an auto-buy for me. I'm not normally a romance lover, but I do love all of her books. So definitely will continue reading from her, and I have a feeling I'm going to continue enjoying her books. So I think I gave this one 4 stars. I don't know if I said that or not, but I gave it 4 stars. It is about a girl who goes on a little summer vacation getaway with all of her best friends, and her ex-fiance turns up at this as well because he was also part of their friend group, but nobody else in the friend group knows that they are no longer together.
Oh.
Yeah. So it kind of becomes, they decide that they're going to continue with the whole ruse that they are still engaged and are gonna get married because everybody in the group is like, you guys are endgame. Like we like 2 of her other best friends are also engaged, and the whole reason that they are going to get married and thought it would be okay to go from friends to lovers is because of her and her guy. And like, once we saw you guys together, we knew that it would be okay. All of my worries were just whatever. And yeah, they're actually not together. So it was really interesting to kind of see how they were going to navigate that, and how they each hurt each other very badly to end their relationship, because they had been together for many years. And so it was really kind of fun to watch them like flirt with each other and push each other like to certain points about like, how far are you gonna take this? Like, I'm not backing down. Like like she would go and sit in his lap and be all over him, and it was very clear that both of them still had feelings for each other. They still wanted to be together, but there were other things that were like keeping them apart and a reason why they broke up. And it was so cute. I loved their romance. I really loved the ending of it. I thought it was a really good ending. So yeah, it was a great little read, and Emily Henry did it again.
Oh, Emily.
Oh, Emily. Never let me down. The next book I read was Horror Store by Grady Hendrix, and this was my 5-star. Yeah.
I kind of guessed that was probably it.
Yeah. So this one is the controversial 5-star because everyone else pretty much on all the reviews I read did not enjoy this book. But I don't care because I loved it, and I loved it for a lot of different reasons. First off, the way that this book is set up, it looks like an IKEA catalog or just like a store catalog. And I loved that so much. It really actually did add a lot to the reading experience, I thought. Like, it was just so much fun to read. And it was. And like, the store in the book is called Orsk, and it is very heavily like an imitation IKEA. Like,
IKEA.
It is IKEA, just with a different name, and all of the things in it, like, it's very comedic how they talk about it, because they're just like going on about how like Orsk is the best place and like all these things, and it's like, it's IKEA, man, it's IKEA. But it was just really, really funny. So the whole premise of the book is there's this store Orsk, and there is a girl who works there. She absolutely hates her job. She's just working there to kind of make ends meet. And this store actually houses a lot more than just furniture, as she finds out after her boss asked her to go on an overnight steakhouse. They have stakeout, not steakhouse. Overnight steakhouse.
Overnight steakhouse.
Yeah. They have a whole bunch of the upper management people that are going to be coming to the store to check it out, because this store in particular and some of the other ones in the area have been having like some financial issues, and they're trying to figure out which stores to close, which ones to keep open. So upper management is coming by to check out how things are going. And there have been some kind of weird things happening around the store that her boss wants to check out, because everything's been happening after they close, after hours. They'll come in the morning and there'll be like a sofa that's just been completely torn apart, or looks like someone peed on it, or like something. There's something happening in this store. And so her boss ends up picking her and then one other of their longtime employees to come and join him on an overnight stakeout to see if they can figure out what exactly is happening. And they get a lot more than they bargained for on the stakeout. A lot of supernatural phenomena be happening in this store. It's crazy. Oh my gosh, it was a wild ride. I loved it. It was so entertaining. There was a lot of comedy thrown in. There's some really good horror aspects that I thought, like, they creeped me out. They creeped me out, and I just wanted to keep reading this book. Like, I think I finished this book in a day. I really did. And every time I walked away from it, because I read most of it at work, so anytime that I had to walk away from it, I got so angry. I just want to sit here and read this book.
That's a mark of a good book.
Yeah, so I loved it. It was a great experience, and just like, yeah, I thought it was well done. And y'all can hate on it all you want, but I loved it. So there you go.
There you go.
All right. The next book I read is The Woods Are Always Watching by Stephanie Perkins. I needed kind of like another filler book, so I just grabbed this one off of my TBR shelf, hoping that it would be good and that Stephanie Perkins would change my feelings toward her after I read There's Someone in Your House, which I didn't really like. This one was a 1-star.
Ooh, ouch.
Yeah, she did not redeem herself. So this book is about two friends, two girls, who go out on this grand hiking adventure in the woods. Mind you, neither one of these girls has ever been hiking before, and neither one of them enjoys hiking or camping. And they've decided they're going to go on a multi-day hiking trip in the woods where there's no cell service, away from their families, as kind of a last hurrah before one of them moves away to go to college. Made no sense to me. The entire first 100 pages of the book or so, which, mind you, this book is short, it's like 200 pages, so half the book was terrible, because all it was is just nothing happened. It was just them talking back and forth to each other, bickering, arguing, talking about how much they actually don't like each other all that much. They're whining about how they have to hike so much. I'm like, you literally chose to go.
Why did you choose?
Yeah, they're like, this backpack is so heavy, and it's like they have like hiking backpacks with all their tents and supplies and everything, and they're like, it's just, oh my gosh, this is just the worst. Like, this hiking is terrible, and what if we see bears? And I'm like, you literally are in the woods that are known for bears. Like, you did this to yourself.
Picked this. You cannot complain about it. You picked it.
Yeah. And then, like I said, they start bickering with each other, and by the time that they reach their first stop for the night, which they couldn't find for the longest time, is so ill-prepared. They weren't even speaking, really, at that point to each other, because they were just so angry, and all of these things, they realized, maybe we don't really like each other all that much. I don't know.
Well, considering you picked a hiking trip when you didn't like hiking, I'd say you don't really know what you like.
Yeah. Dumb.
Yeah.
And then when something did happen in this book, it was so unbelievable that I just rolled my eyes at it. Like, this is not realistic in any way. There's no way. Because, like, something happened, and there should have been a lot more people that died in this book, because there's no way that anyone would have survived that. And then the very end scene was like, are you kidding me? That's how that's gonna play. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I hated it. I hated it so much. And then the villains in this book were just the absolute worst. They had no backstory. There was no reason for them to be there. They just showed up, and they did what they did, and there was no reason. There also was no creepy vibes in this at all. There was never a point where I was just like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? It was just like, this is a terrible book. I should have DNF'd it, quite frankly. I don't know why I didn't.
I don't care if anybody dies.
No, they should have all died. Should have all died. But whatever. That was
that one.
I'm not reading from Stephanie Perkins again. I'm sorry, but no. So I also read Ninth House, which was 3 stars for me. I'm not going to get into this one because we did a video on this, as well as The Maidens, as Kelly said. This one was 2 star. Yep, 2 star. I had lowered it from 4 stars after our discussion.
After I bullied her into it with my long rants.
Her logic, pretty much. So yeah, the final book that I read then is Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston, and that was a 3 star for me. This book is about the president's son who ends up falling in love with the Prince of England. So it's a gay romance story, and I was really hoping that it would be like super cute and I would just fall in love with it, be a 5-star read, because everyone's hyping this book up a lot.
Yeah.
And like they made the Amazon movie about it as well. And so I'm like, okay, this is gonna be like super cute. I'm gonna get all gushy and mushy and all the like butterfly feelings. Didn't have that. This was supposed to have like an enemies to lovers trope in it, and I didn't think that the reason why they were enemies to begin with was very good. So I didn't feel the whole enemies to lovers vibe. They didn't like really, she didn't like really flesh out the whole enemy part very well either. Like, they hate each other and then they love each other. It was just like very quick. I also didn't enjoy all of the smut scenes. Not that I like spicy books, okay? I'm not against any of the spice scenes, but I didn't need it to be every single time that they met. Like, that was all it was, and they weren't even good scenes. She didn't write them well. Like, we'd be getting all hot and heavy, and then we're cutting away to something else. And I'm like, girl, give me something here, okay? And it's like, it was really made it hard for me to believe that they were so in love with each other and everything when all they did was just have sex all the time.
Yeah.
And
Where's
it was just,
the relationship?
yeah, like there was nothing. And so I wanted there to be a little bit more to the relationship than just them sleeping together all of the time. Because it just felt more, and I know it started out as like friends with benefits situation and they weren't gonna like fall in love and all that, and it just kind of happened, but still there needed to be more.
There needs to be a reason.
Yeah, there
that
needs to be
it
a
moves
reason.
on.
Yeah, exactly. A reason why they can't live without each other, and there wasn't a whole lot of consequences for when things did like happen and go wrong. I really hated the politics in this book because it pretty much made every politician like a glorified celebrity who can do no wrong, and that is not the case in real life. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's pretty much politicians are just in it to do the right thing and be the people's best advocate, and anyone who's not a Democrat is evil, and like, yeah, exactly.
I don't need to read that book then.
Yeah, no, I really hated it a lot. Okay, my camera battery died, so we're going to use my phone now, so sorry for the different quality and all of that, but anyway, this book, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. Anyway, it ended at a good spot. I did watch the movie. I had a movie night with some of the girls at the shelter, and we watched the movie adaptation of this. The movie was cute, and I think the movie did the romance better. But the movie also left out my favorite characters from this book, which was the president's son's sister, so the president's daughter, and then the vice president's daughter. They were my two favorite characters in this book. So not even the two main guys. They weren't my favorites. I didn't like them that much. But yeah. So another thing with the movie too is you don't have to read the book to watch the movie. Very different from one another. So I think the movie is better enjoyed by someone who hasn't read the book, because while I was watching it, I was missing my favorite characters, and it just kind of wasn't what I wanted, I guess.
That didn't happen. That didn't.
Yeah.
What about this?
So definitely I wouldn't read the book before watching the movie if you want to enjoy the movie more. I don't know. That's kind of my takeaway from it, but yeah, I don't know.
Or it kind of sounds like Amy saying skip them both.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe so. I mean, maybe it's just me because I'm not like not super into romance, and so maybe everyone's gonna be like, well, it's not supposed to be realistic, it's supposed to be cute and fun and all that, and I'm like, but I'd like it to be a little realistic.
A little bit.
Yeah, like, I would like it to have more to the relationship and less about how great politicians are. I don't know. I didn't appreciate it. And I would like there to be some consequences too. That was another big thing. It's like there were these things that the characters were so scared of for happening, and then they happened. And then it was no big deal.
Yeah, that's a letdown.
It was like,
that's a big letdown.
Everything was all hunky-dory and it didn't hurt anybody. Like, it didn't change anything. And I'm like,
then why? Why bother?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
that's a big letdown.
Yeah.
No payoff, as they say.
Yep. So, yeah. that's all I got from my August wrap up.
Yeah. Well, obviously, me too. I didn't read anything this month.
Well, hopefully September will be better. You have any plans?
No.
Still in the reading slump.
No.
I ruined your
I
reading
haven't.
for the rest of the year.
I finished reading our book club book in August.
September.
And
In August.
in August, I think the very last day. And I haven't read anything since.
Nice. Yeah, I finished our book club book in
As
September.
of filming. Obviously, you can tell that we're filming this right after our book club discussion. So it's like, what, September 3rd for us at the moment? Yeah, I haven't read anything
It's still
yet.
early, though.
It is very early. I mean, I will be reading
7.5 Deaths.
7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle.
Which you guys should too.
Yeah,
Then
read
you can join us in October.
and join us. Other than that, I don't know. I should probably pick up something that I know I'm going to enjoy too. Which, I mean, I could pick up anything really that's on my TBR.
Yeah.
Could. And I bought. It was at Target with my son. We had to go shopping for wedding clothes for my niece's wedding. And I did pick up The Last Apothecary and One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. So, I don't know. We'll see. I'm not a huge fan of Taylor Jenkins Reid, but this sounded like something I would enjoy. And this, I didn't like really her other book, but I've heard this one's better. So, I mean, either one of those, I just bought them. I don't know. Something. I have started the next October Day book.
You're okay.
But I've also started that one last month and didn't finish it. So, there's that.
Well, hopefully your reading slump is you get out of that
Yeah,
soon.
we'll see. It's okay.
Yeah.
You know, I sometimes read and ignore other things that I should do, and
I mean,
Yeah.
that's kind of the best part about reading,
it
though.
really is.
Read to ignore life.
So yeah. So sometimes it's better because, like I have a bunch of new bookmarks made, and instead of getting them up in my store, I have been reading.
Well, you best get on it, okay?
So, yeah.
You have one to show?
There's
Yes.
This one.
Look
Got
at how
this
pretty.
one. But yeah, I got a lot, and I wish I brought them in. I found this seller on Etsy. I'll post it on my Instagram. That does like woodcuts, and then some of them are painted, and one of them has like red roses and sugar skulls, and
Awesome.
one of them has pumpkins, and one of them has bookshelves. And one of them is like a really psychedelic skull kind of thing. They're very, very cute. So, some of them I think I'm going to make earrings out of, and then others I'm going to make bookmarks. So I'll have more bookmarks. And it's another thing, I need to be opening my new Etsy shop just for my bookmarks. But I've been reading instead. So, sometimes getting into a reading slump is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
So hopefully I will get some of this other stuff done. And get
Yeah.
some reading done too. So we'll
I'm
see.
excited. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Kelly gifted me a bookmark that she made, gosh, a few months ago. I don't have it with me. I'm so sad, but
That's all right.
it's amazing.
When
I
we were
absolutely love
reading something spooky.
Yeah. I don't
Was it Jane
remember.
Eyre?
Maybe.
Possibly. Anyway, yeah.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see all the rest of them.
So yeah, I gotta get that done. I really do. So
Yeah.
it's okay if I don't get a lot of reading done, 'cause then maybe I'll get other stuff.
Yeah. I mean, this is the best time of year to be doing other things than reading. Like, if you're
I
gonna
know.
get away from reading,
Yeah.
Halloween spooky season is the best time because there's so much to
There is so much to do.
do.
And truthfully, with Etsy and especially opening a new shop, but adding to my shop I already have is Christmas. The Christmas shopping season will be starting like in a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a good time to take a break from this non-productive stuff.
Yeah.
Getting some productive stuff done. So
Mhm.
anyway, what about you? What are you gonna do?
Oh, well, I think my goal is to try and read a whole bunch of spooky things.
There you
I
go.
don't know. I just ordered The Mist by Stephen King because I just rewatched that movie and I want to do a comparison, see how they compare to one another. Yeah, that's what a compare.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Other than that, I don't really know. I kind of am just probably gonna try and focus on going through my TBR shelf. Maybe. I mean, I picked up a whole bunch of Stephen King books, so
Yeah, you did.
probably could read those.
It's a big haul. Like at our video 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Ish? 3 weeks ago?
The
Yes.
Books, Beverages, and Besties at
Yeah.
Twice Told Tales.
At Twice Told, see the big book haul. It's like all we got. I got Stephen King that day.
Yeah.
So all we got was Stephen King.
I don't know. It's my spooky reading season, so I'm really getting into it. Oh, we also have some books that we need to be reading for October and
It's in October.
for a September video too.
Uh,
So I'm gonna be dictating Kelly's reading once again.
Probably because I probably won't read anything else other than what she tells me to.
Yep.
So yeah,
So we have
definitely
some good-
for the October books because I'm gonna be. I gotta really
Yeah,
get on
I'll let you pick our September book video, like books for the videos.
Okay.
Alright, well if you guys enjoyed watching this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you're not already subscribed, go on down below the video and hit that red subscribe button and join the Everyday Adventure family, and you can see our wonderful faces every Sunday with book content.
And you can see a lot more book content back on Amy's channel with the both of us and her making me read books that I really don't want to read. So,
I'm good at that.
she's really good at that. Other than that, if you think book stuff is okay, but you're really not your thing, still go check out her channel because there's plenty of other stuff there. There is, well, the most recent closet renovation, home renovation stuff. That's amazing. There's cleaning videos and organizing videos. There's shopping hauls, and we're gonna have a lot of shopping hauls coming up because we are in Amy's season. She says that now. Shopping hauls. There will be decorating videos. There'll be, well, she's been talking about doing crafting videos, DIY videos, travel, I don't know, all kinds of stuff. And the cute kitties to go along with that. And if that's not enough for you, be sure and check out her blog, which has all sorts of other content and articles to read. Kind of some of them expanding on the videos, and some are totally different, like Foodie Fridays and Watch It Wednesdays, and I don't know. I always mention those two because those are the ones I remember. So lots more content over on her blog. So check it all out and be a part of the Everyday Adventurer family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it.
Now.
Anyway, alrighty.
Anyway.
Well, I think
We're
that's
good.
gonna do it for us.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. So, thank you guys again for watching. Let us know what you read down in August. If you have any books recommendations for us, or even video recommendations, let us know in the comments as well.
What do you read to get yourself out of a reading slump?
Yeah, Kelly needs help.
I need help. What's your go-to?
Yeah. So, we'd love
Okay.
to hear from you guys.
Yeah.
And like I said, hope you guys enjoyed watching. And I'm Amy.
And I'm Kelly.
And we are
The Everyday Epic.
See you guys in the next
Bye.
one. Bye.